I actually had a conversation with a person from Fort Worth about Charleston White. And when I found out the guy was from Fort Worth, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to ask him about Charleston White. So I asked him about Charleston White. I'm like, what do you think about Charleston White? And of course, he was a supporter of Charleston White and his antics. And, me and him was talking about how Charleston White goes out of his way to disrespect dead people, and it's not right. And I believe the guy from Fort Worth, his position was, are those people bad people? Are they gang members? Because it was kind of sound like old buddy from Fort Worth was trying to validate the way Charleston White is by saying that all gang members are bad people. And I'm here to tell you that all gang members are not bad people. There's a lot of people in LA whose parents are gang members. And naturally, them growing up with gang member parents, they adopt those same types of ways that their parents had, And I asked them, I'm like, what if a person, they mama, they daddy, they uncles, everybody in their family was a gangbanger, and they followed what the older people in their family did. How does that make them a bad person? And he's all like, it makes them a bad person because they joined the gang, and if you join the gang, you know what it's about. You know what the gang is about. And I kind of was a little pulled back from that because I know for a fact that there's people that I grew up with who didn't want to gangbang and really couldn't get away from it. The fact that their parents were so much into it, they were by default a part of it. And I'm like, does that make them a bad person? And he kind of got stuck like, I don't know, because a lot of people, that is in that world, whose parents are gang members, they cannot help that they are looked upon as a part of whatever gang is their parents are a part of. There's no way around it. So it's like, how could you really say that, and then I think back to a video with Monster Cody from Kev Mac Videos. And in that video, Monster, he was explaining what led him to being a part of the A-Tray Gangsters, right? So Monster, he told a story about him going to, I believe it was 54th Street Elementary School. And his mother gave him a dime for lunch money, right? And there was a guy at the school, which Monster called him the king of the school, that used to, shake people down for their lunch money. So he approached, the guy approached him and asked him, to break himself, give up his money. And Monster replied and said he didn't have no money, right? He lied and said he didn't have no money. So the guy suggested that he can check him himself, and he said all I find I can have, and Monster agreed to it. So dude went into Monster Cody's pocket and found that dime, and because Monster lied to him about having money, he socked him, cracked him right in the face, right? And that stuck with Monster. Because a little bit after that, which I believe it was the next day or it could be same day, I don't really remember, that's when he joined the gang. Monster Cody was just a regular square. He probably was, like he said, he was writing Crip on the wall and stuff. He was already influenced like a lot of us are, because that's the area that we grew up in. If you grew up in a certain climate or circumstances, you're going to be basically a product of that, So after he got cracked. He felt the need that he needed protection. So that was what made him join the gang. So it's like from the day that he went to school, was he a good person? And then when he got put on, does that automatically make him a bad person? Because he was looking for protection when he got put on, So it's kind of one of those things where you have to really look at that individual person, because I don't believe that a person is automatically a bad person just because they joined a gang. Because a lot of people think that everybody in a gang has killed people, and that's not the case. There's a lot of people who join gangs that are, they never killed anybody. They barely had fights with people. So to say that they are automatically a bad person is kind of a stretch, because you really have to look at that individual person and that individual person's character to really determine whether or not they are a bad person or not. I don't think you are a bad person just solely based off a choice that you made, but you become a bad person if you continue to develop these bad ways, and that's how you become a bad person. I just don't think that you're a bad person just solely because you're a part of the game. And I just think that it's unfortunate for some young people that they are put in that position. Like, I had friends that was not gang banging that end up gang banging just solely based off somebody in their family or somebody close to them was gang banging and got killed. And in return, they wanted to avenge that murder, just like in the Bible that they say an eye for an eye, so they wanted to get their lick back. So they joined the gang to have some type of support in getting their lick back. Does that make them automatically a bad person because they want get back for what happened to someone close to them? Like, if somebody punches you, you're going to just sit there and let them punch you? No, you're going to punch them back. And that's the same thing. If somebody do something to to a person in your family or somebody that you close to, you're going to want to get back,